What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Night Out channel. Welcome to another Smite Conquest God Guide. Just a basic beginner guide for people who don't know the gods, or maybe you're interested in playing them and maybe you need a build for them. This video is going to cover all of that for each specific god that I go over. In the first video I went over Achilles through Anher, and this one I'll be covering Anubis through Ares. So we're going to start off with Anubis. We're going to go over which abilities to max first, what his abilities do, like combos you should be doing with the characters, things to look out for if you're going against a character, things you want to, be aware of, and then of course builds and any other tips that involve the character and all that good stuff. But with that being said, let's go and jump right into it. We're going to start off with Anubis, and if you're here for a specific god, if you're here for someone else, there's going to be timestamp in the description, so you can just go straight to that god and learn all about them. There's going to be builds, 2 or 3 different builds you can use. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, starting off with Anubis, god of the dead, we're going to go ahead and jump into his ability builder and discuss his abilities, what they do, and which ones you want to max out first, and all that good stuff. We have his 1, his 2, his 3, his 4, and then his passive. Alright, so starting off with his passive, basically what he does is steal protections from whoever he's hitting with his abilities, and then he gets increased lifesteal from that. So basically, his passive has built-in lifesteal. That's why Anubis is so good with lifesteal items. That's why people build lifesteal on him right away, because his passive allows him to heal when he does damage with his abilities. He also has a reduction in crowd control. So anyone that has CC abilities, his passive allows him to reduce the duration of that CC on him just from his passive alone. And then jumping up to his abilities, we have his 1, his 2, his 3, and his 4. His 1 is a plague of locusts. Alright, he just stands still and he just shoots like locusts out of his mouth. Very simple attack. It leaves you vulnerable because you can get attacked while you're just standing there. His 2 is his stun, so it sends out a wrap, like a wrap, mummy wrap, and it grabs them and it keeps them from moving, and it stuns them as long as they're not using beads or anything like that. Grasping hands is a ground target. You'll see an area on the floor, and these hands will come up and do damage to any enemy in that area, and it will slow them as they try to retreat from the area and not take any damage. And then finally, his ultimate, his Death Gaze. It's a very powerful attack. He's immune to any CC while he's doing it, and it's just a straight laser. I mean, that's what it's just a straight laser. It lasts for about 3 seconds, and it does a ton of damage. And the combos you're going to see with Anubis, and if you're going against Anubis, the things he likes to do is going to be his 2, his 3, and then his 4. So he stuns, he puts his 3 down, does damage, and then he uses his 4 to do more damage on top of that. So that's one thing you want to look out for when you're going against an Anubis. His objective is going to be to try to stun you with his 2, use his 3 in order to do some damage, and then if he has his ultimate, he's going to use it while you're underneath the 2 and the 3 to do even more damage and try to kill you. It happens a lot. And then also with all this damage coming onto you, he's getting lifesteal back for all the damage he's getting. You're going to want to max his 3 first, his ultimate, then go back up to his 1, and then his 2. So we're going to start off with the 3, okay? Then we're going to go up to the 1, then down to the 2, and down to the 3. Then we're going to do the 4, all right? And then we're going to go up to the 3, go to the 3 again. Then this time we're going to go back up to the 1, back down to the 4, okay? 3, 1, 1, there's the 4, 1 again, 2, 2, there's the 4. 3, 3, and then 4. From what I saw, that was the basics of what people were maxing out first with their Anubis and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to jump into the gameplay for Anubis and demonstrate the skills, demonstrate that combo I was talking about, and then we'll go to the next god. Alright guys, so we got all of Anubis' abilities. Let's go ahead and demonstrate how they work. Alright, so first is the 3. Alright, the 3. Alright, so the 3 brings the hands up. You can see does a lot of damage to minions and anyone around there. The 2 wraps him. Stuns her, she can't do anything. The 1, he stands still, and the locusts come out of his mouth. Okay, I'm gonna wait for her to come back so I can do my ultimate, or else I'll go find somebody. Where's Kali at? So what you want to do for the combo, basically, you do your 2, you shoot out, you stun them, right? You put your 3 on them, and then you use your ultimate. Okay, it's a line ability. When she comes back, I'll show you. But there's one thing I want to demonstrate: the ticks, right? So when you do damage with your abilities, watch the bottom. You see Anubis' face? You see the number? That's the lifesteal ability. That's the ability that's giving him, first of all, the protections that he's taken away from the enemy, and then the lifesteal and the crowd control reduction. So when you see that pop up and it's activated, he's getting more lifesteal, he's getting the crowd control reduction, and he's taking away protections from whoever he hits. Let's go ahead and demonstrate the combo against Freya here once she comes out of her little tower. Alright, so what you want to focus on is hitting her with your 2, right? So 2, 3, 4. Okay? And that's what you want to focus on. I'm not the best Anubis player. You see, I was like swaddling back and forth, but that's the combo, and that's what people who are going to play Anubis are going to do to you. They're going to try to find a way to 2, 3 you, right? They're doing that damage, and then they're going to 4 use the ultimate and try to do as much damage as they can while you're underneath the wraps. Okay, And then for builds, we have 3 different builds. We've got Incan, we've got Final K, so if you want to play him in the solo lane, because you can play Anubis in the solo lane, like, if you want to. He gets played in the solo lane pretty often, I would say. So solo lane is Final K's, and then I have my personal own build I would use for Anubis if I were to play him and stuff like that. But, I mean, that's all I really have for Anubis. If you don't have your ultimate, you can use this combo, you can see that. Alright, so you can do the 2, the 3, and then the 1. So you don't have your ultimate, but you can do the 1 instead of the 4. And you do similar damage. Now, of course, it's not as strong as your ultimate, but you still do the damage, and you still get that point across. But that's what we want to focus on. Using that 2, tie him up, 3 and the 4, or the 3 and the 1. And yeah, I mean, that's all I really have for Anubis. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If there are any Anubis masters out there and I missed something, let me know. Let's go ahead and move on to the next god. Alright guys, next god we're going to go over is Kuang, Dragon King of the Eastern Seas. Let's go ahead and go into his ability builder and explain his abilities and his passive and what he does and how to upgrade him and all that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to start off with his passive. Alright, so he has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then his passive. So basically what it's saying is that every 12 seconds you get a stack called the Dragon King Sword. You get 1 of it. When you use your 1, 2, or 3, it reduces the cooldown for that particular ability, and then it also heals Kuang a little bit as well. When you execute somebody with your 4, it gives you and automatically gives you 1 of the stacks, 1 of the Dragon King Sword. Alright? So jumping up to his 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one is a water illusion. Alright, when we go in game, I'm going to show you. He basically, it's a teleportation ability. You can see there. He goes underwater, he jumps out, and it leaves like a little... like a hologram of him, like a little, what is it called? A watery form. There we go. A watery form, like hologram, like little puddle. And what you can do is you can activate it again and it'll explode in that area, or you can wait for it to run out and you're invisible during this time. It's very similar to like Izanami's ability when she goes like underground or she like disappears and she's invisible, but instead of, you know, Izanami not doing anything, he has the ability to re-detonate that puddle and do extra damage. I'll show you when we get in game. Alright, next up we have his 2, it's the Dragon Call, and it's going to get 6 dragons on his side, and what happens when you can reactivate the ability to shoot a dragon out, it's going to slow any enemy that it hits, or you can use the dragons to attack somebody. So if you attack somebody with a basic attack, a dragon pops off of you, goes onto them, and it does extra damage. Okay, his 3 is a very basic cone attack, it just kind of shoots out some lightning. And if you have the dragons on you, if whatever the lightning hits, those dragons will also attack as well. When we go in game, I will show you. And then finally, his ultimate, it's very similar to Achilles and Thanatos. It's the execution, an execution type ultimate. And when a target gets below a certain amount of health, he can execute them. And what happens is a little X will appear on them. He will jump up, turn into a dragon, right? So he executes them, turn into a dragon, and then he can come back down and land on somebody, do some damage, and then continue on with his attack. And then in terms of which abilities you want to level out first, you want to do his 3 first, his 2, then you want to do the 1, and then the 4, okay? So we're going to start out with a 3. Alright, you can do the 2 or you can do the 1, depending on what your style is. You can do the 2 if you're going for more damage, or you can start out with the 1 for more escape. So let's say you use the 1, you do the 2, now we're going to go back to the 3, okay? Opens up the ultimate, there's the ultimate. Now we're going to focus on the 3 and the 2, and then the 1 and the 4, okay? So we're going to focus on the 3, boom, boom, can't do the 3 anymore. Up to the 2, okay, that opens up the 3, gonna do the 3, back up to the 2, 2, 2, 2, okay, back up to the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then finish up the 4. So let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay to demonstrate all of his abilities. So we have all of Kuang's abilities here. Let's go ahead and demonstrate what they do. His 1 is a teleportation along with a little like holographic thing, so he turns invisible, okay, he leaves behind a little watery thing. If you detonate it again, press the button again, boom, he kind of like detonates it a little bit. His 2 is a bunch of dragons, okay, so we have 6 dragons around the body. If I use my 3 while this is active, the dragons will attack, and when I attack with the dragons on me, they also do more damage, okay? The ultimate, let's see if I can demonstrate it here. Alright, the ultimate works well against enemies who are damaged. So I'm going to use my teleportation here so I can get away from the minions. Alright, I'm going to wait here a little bit. I'm going to wait for my 2, because the 2 is what you want to use to burst down the enemy. So I'm bursting down the enemy, okay? Bursting, 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 bursting. Right, we're bursting. Stun me a little bit, right? Boom, okay? There's that X. There's the dragon form. Now I'm in my dragon. He's been executed, and now I can't go right underneath me, but I go back down. Boom, do more damage. And that's pretty much the basics of his ultimate, okay? He turns into a dragon. He executes him below a certain amount. And that's pretty much how Kuang works. You want to use your 2 to burst down the enemy like that, get him low, get them to that, you know, that blue X mark, and then use your ultimate and take him down. You can also reinitiate the 2. So if you have the 2 like this, you can hit it again, and it sends a dragon forward. You can do a line damage. If you hit an enemy god, it slows them down. That's pretty much the basics. All right, the 3 is the cone, very easy. If the 2 is activated, again, the dragons come up and they do some damage. I'll do it on the blue buff here real quick. All right, so if I got the dragons on me, right, the 3, boom, they come up, boom, do some more damage. If I'm attacking with it, lots of damage. That's how Kuang does a lot of his damage, okay? Oh, and before we move on, let's go ahead and do the builds. All right, so these are a couple builds you can use for Kuang. I got the builds from Inkin and from Shawnee B. I don't have a personal build for Kuang because I don't really use him that well. I'm not that good with him. I play with him, I know what he does and stuff like that, but not my particular choice for a jungler. But if you want to play him, there's a couple of builds, and that's all I really have for Kuang. Those are his abilities. You can see the sword is lit up over there on the side. That just means he can, when he hits an enemy god, it gets cooled down faster, and he gets a little bit of health and stuff like that. It's just a nice little passive for him, but that's all I really have for Kuang here. Don't really have much else for him. You got his abilities. Make sure you burst down the person that you're trying to kill with your 2. You use your 3 if you need to, and then get that blue X mark to show up, execute them, and that's pretty much how Kuang works. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If there's any Kuang masters watching and I missed something, let me know. And yeah, let's go and move on to the next guy. Alright guys, next up we have Aphrodite here, the goddess of beauty. And let's go ahead and jump into her ability builder and explain what she does. Alright, we have her 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we also have her passive. Her passive is going to be the center of attention. And Aphrodite gains protection, 4 magical and 4 physical protection for each friendly or enemy god within 70 feet of her. So she's just surrounded by a bunch of people, whether it's friendly or enemy, she gets more protections, more defensive bonuses, and it makes her really tough to kill. Starting off with her 1 is a kiss, and if she uses the ability on an ally, it creates a link between them. They become soulmates, and it gives the person that she's linked to a bunch of bonuses. Movement speed, damage, if she uses the ability again and it stuns somebody, she gets the damage. And then she also gives the person extra mana, so mana regeneration. Alright, number 2, we have back off. So this is basically similar to on her style, or on her's impale. So when he hits somebody, it like forces them back. So when she does it, instead of it going in a line, it's a circle. So she does it from like where she's standing, and it kind of pushes everybody out from her. Okay, I'll show you when we get in game. And then Lovebirds is probably her most important ability. It's very similar to Amuz and Cab's B's ability. So when he like does his ability, it does damage over time. That's what this one does. So birds come out, does damage over time. It also, if she's linked to somebody, it heals over time as well. So if she's linked to somebody, she does the birds, it heals them as well. I'll show you when we get in game. And then finally, her number 4, Undying Love, her ultimate, basically just makes her and whoever she's connected to invulnerable for a certain amount of time. So it's basically like the Aegis relic, except you also get crowd control immunity. So if you're stunned, or if the person's taking a lot of damage or about to take a lot of damage from like a Danza attack or a Poseidon ultimate, she can use that and it will do no damage to her. She'll get away scot-free, and then whoever she's connected to will also receive those benefits of being invulnerable for that amount of time. Now let's talk about which abilities you want to max out first. You're going to start off with the 3, all right, then you're going to do the 2, the 1, and then the 4. We're going to start out with the 3 like I just did there. You can also do the 2 right away, or you can do the 1. I probably would do the 2 because the mid, if she's playing mid or if she's playing like solo, you're going to want to do the 2 because you don't have anybody to really link to. If you're playing support, then you're probably going to go with the 1, right after the 3, so that way you can link to them and help them heal and everything like that. But let's go ahead and do 2, 1, and then the 3 again, the 4. All right, we're going to focus on maxing out the 3 first. We're going to go 3, 3, can't do it anymore. Then we're going to do the 2, 2, there's the 3 again, boom, go back up to the 2, 2, 2, 2. Now we're going to do the 4 until we can't do it anymore, 4, 4, back up to the 1, we're going to put it up, 4 one more time, and then 1, 1, and then a 4 again. That's just the basics on which abilities you want to master first. And now let's go into the gameplay to demonstrate what they do and how they look and all that stuff. Alright, so we have all of Aphrodite's abilities. Go ahead and demonstrate what they do and how they work. I'll go up to the middle lane here and see if we can get Kukulkan to attack me with his ultimate. We're going to start with the 3. Alright, so the 3, Lovebirds, okay. Does a bunch of damage over time, takes down minions really fast. That's why you want to max it out. Here's the 1, okay. I'm attached to Mercury now. Let's see if Kukulkan does his ultimate. I really want him to do it so I can demonstrate. There it is. Alright, there's the ultimate. Boom, look at that. I used, also healing him too. Alright, so a lot of things just happened there at once. The ultimate that I used negated Kukulkan's ultimate, alright? It did no damage. We were invincible, right? Then I used the 3. Come back here, Mercury. Then I used the 3. Okay, he gains health, I gain health, alright? Very, very useful for anyone that plays Aphrodite. And if you're going against an Aphrodite, look out for that. She's a big time healer. Make sure you build some anti-heal to counter that. And then her 2, Kukulkan's dead, right? Her 2, I guess we can demonstrate it on minions. If there's enemy gods around, it does the same thing. Alright, so her 2, got a circle. Boom. Alright, it kind of just pushes everybody away. And if she's linked to somebody like you saw with Mercury, he also had a circle. It pushes everybody away from him as well. And then her 1 doesn't work on any minions. It only works on allied gods, or works on enemy gods. So if I can find, I guess he wants to get this red. If I can find an enemy, here comes Kuang. Alright, cool. So I'm going to go to Kuang real quick. Alright. And the kiss, if you attach it to, if you hit it with an allied guy, it attaches to them. But if you hit an enemy god, this he comes towards me. Alright, stuns them. Alright, and then capitalize. If you attach to somebody, it does more damage to them. Alright, and that's pretty much it for Aphrodite. Here's a couple builds. Alright, so I believe I got it from, I want to say Incan, Shawnee B, and maybe one other person. Pushing pretty hard here. Alright, I'm going to heal up. And I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have for Aphrodite. Again, 2, boom, good. Push him away. I can get back a little bit. I'm pushing pretty hard here. But if I need to, I can always use my ultimate and give myself some invulnerability, and then back off even more. But he ends up killing me. But that's pretty much all I have for Aphrodite. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Don't have anything else. If I missed anything, let me know. If you go against her, build anti-heal items. If you haven't seen my item guide, feel free to check that out. You're going to want to build anti-heal to keep her from healing her allies and all that stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to the next god. Alright, moving on to Apollo now, the god of music. Let's go ahead and go to the ability builder and see what we're working with here. We have his 1, his 2, his 3, and his 4. And we'll start off with his passive here, Audacity. After 10 basic attacks, Apollo gains Audacity, which increases his attack speed for the next 5 hits. And then he also gets 2 stacks of Audacity for each damaging ability on enemy gods. So speaking of his abilities, let's go up to his 1, which is so beautiful. It's a basic line attack. It just does damage in a line. And that's pretty much it. Moving on to his 2, this is his stun. It also gives him a little bit of protections, but it's mainly used to stun enemies. It's very similar to Kumbhakarna's stun. And when we get to him, I'll explain more about that, but it's mainly just used to stun enemies. Then his 3 is a dash. It's mainly used to get away or to close distance on enemies. It decreases their movement speed while it increases yours and enemies around him. And then his ultimate, very basic. He just has a chariot. He gets on his chariot, he can go up into the sky, and for a certain amount of time he can fly around, and when he lands on an enemy, it does damage in that area, and he comes down, and that's pretty much it. Now let's talk about which abilities you want to max out first. We're going to start off with his 1, then you want to do his 2, then his ultimate, then his 3, and that's it. Alright, so we start off with the 1, alright, then we're going to unlock the 2, go down to 3, go back up to the 1, there's the ultimate, alright, now we're going to focus on the 1, 1, 1, can't do it anymore, 2, 1, back down to the 2, 2, 2, 2, okay, now we're going to go to the 4, alright, ultimate, 1, 2, can't do the ultimate anymore, back up to the 3, 3, 3, there's the 4, 3, 3, and 4. There's the basics for that. If I missed anything, let me know. I think that's what I've seen from people, the people I watch and stuff like that. It looked like that's what they were doing with his abilities. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay and demonstrate his abilities. Alright guys, so we got all of Apollo's abilities. Go ahead and demonstrate what they are. And one thing I didn't mention about the ultimate is that you'll notice that the cost of it is only 10, right? But it's 10 plus 40 per second. So you can fly around pretty much as long as you want, as long as you have the mana to pretty much do it, alright? Let's go ahead and demonstrate it pretty easy. Start off with his 1, which is a line ability. You can see here. Got a projected little area I'm going to shoot it with. Boom. Line ability. Very easy. His 2 is a stun. Alright, so I get close to Medusa here. Stuns her. Okay. 3 is a dash. Alright. Dashes away wherever I land. Those people get increased movement speed. And then any enemies get decreased movement speed. And then I guess I can demonstrate his passive. Let me demonstrate his passive real quick. Have to get a little closer. Alright, so you see the little bar over there? It's like a little, kind of looks like a brass knuckle, to be honest. Once that reaches the max, he's gonna change his stance a little bit. He's gonna hold his hands out like that, and that's how you know you have Audacity. He shoots a little faster for like 4 or 5 hits, and then that's it. And then for his ultimate, it's a good way to get away. It's a good way to close distance between people. So what happens? Call in a chariot, and then we just ride for as long as we want. Alright, see the mana is going down, and then wherever I land, I do damage. Okay? And that's pretty much it. That's how you play Apollo. He's very simple, not very difficult at all. That's it. I mean, build attack speed for him. Here's some builds for him. I believe I got it from Zapman, Incan, and one other person. I don't play Apollo that much, but he's a good character. Definitely would recommend him. If anybody wants to play him, go ahead and give him a shot. It's really basic, really easy, nothing too crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Apollo. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If there's any Apollo fans out there or Masters and I missed something, just let me know and I'll cover it. But that's all I really have, and let's go ahead and move on to the next god. Alright, next up we have Arachne, the Weaver, one of the best assassins in the game. If there's anybody wanting to play her, this is the basics on how to play her and what she does and all that good stuff. We have her 4 abilities here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have her passive. So starting off with her passive, we have Predator here, and she gains physical damage for every 5% of a target's missing health. So the lower the health of the enemy, the more damage she gets from her passive. And moving up to her 1, we have Venomous Bite. Upon activation, Arachne's next big attack within 5 seconds does additional damage and infects the target with venom, dealing damage over time and healing Arachne every half second for 3 seconds. So this is her healing ability, this is her poison abilities, dealing damage to them over time, and it's healing at the same time. Cocoon, this is her stun ability, alright, so she wraps her hand in webs, she attacks them, and it turns them into, she puts them into cocoon, and you can do more damage, and it's a very strong ability combined with the 1. When we get into the gameplay, I'll show you what I mean. Alright, now her 3 is the web ability, and it's a very basic ability. She shoots out a line with spiders in a web. If an enemy passes over, it activates, the spiders drop down, they attack and do damage. Same thing with the jungle monster, or any other enemy that comes across the web and activates the spiders. Finally, we have her ultimate here. We have Nightcrawler, and all she does is she kind of just flips up upside down. She's basically crawling on a web, and increases her movement speed. When she comes down, if she hits somebody, she slows them down. And it's also used for defense, so if you need to get away from something, or if you're getting attacked by multiple people, you can use it to get away. You got crowd control immunity, you get up, you got increased speed, and you can get away. In terms of what you need to max out first, you want to focus on the ultimate as much as possible, because you want the cooldown to be as low as possible, so you can use as much as you want. But it's 4, 1, and then 3, 2. That is the preferred maxing of the abilities, you know what I'm saying? So that's the ones you want to max out first. We're going to start off with the 3, alright, start with the 3. You always want to start with the web. Alright, up to the 1, and then the 2, then we're going to go back to the 1. Alright, so the 1 is what you want to max out until you can do the 4, right? Once the 4 opens up, that's fine, we can't do it anymore. Let's go back up to the 1, can't do it again. 1 more, can't do it again. So we're going down to the 3, now we can do the 4, so we can do the 4. Back up to the 1, still locked, so we can do 3, 3 again. There's the 4, 3 again, 2, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4. Okay, focus on that 4 as much as you can, get that cooldown down, and that way you can use it as much as you can to get away and close distance and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. Alright, so we have all of Arachne's abilities here. Let's go ahead and demonstrate it. I'm going to start off with their ultimate. One thing about Arachne that most people don't know is that you can actually activate the 1 and the 2 before you, or while you're in the ultimate. So I'm going to activate the ultimate and attack Bellona here. So ultimate, alright, 1, 2 are activated. I'm going to jump down, I'm going to attack her, okay? Got her all wrapped up. That's from the 2, okay, and now she's dead, alright? So I'll demonstrate it again so that way, because it was kind of a lot at once, right? So the ultimate was that the spider web on the top, and she crawled and took it down. So the 3 is the web, okay? So that's the spiders, alright? If you see the little web on the ground, it actually makes you move faster, okay? Any enemy that comes in contact with that, it makes them move slower. Now to demonstrate the 2, so she's going to wrap her hands in webs, alright? She's going to attack the same person 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It's going to wrap them up, see? The 1, alright, that's good. That's going to be her lifesteal. That's the first thing we're going to max. Does lots of damage, gets your little lifesteal, takes down enemies really quickly. Using the 1 and 2 together is totally fine. You get to stun them and you get the lifesteal. Alright, that 3 again. There's the spiders coming down, you see them doing damage. Okay, and then I've already demonstrated the ultimate going up in the air, coming down and doing lots of damage. Arachne's a really strong assassin, really strong jungler, and she's really hard to stop, especially like one-on-one. A lot of people have a hard time going against her one-on-one. And then here are a few builds for Arachne, just a couple of different ones. They all revolve kind of around the same thing. Using the golden blade, and I don't think any of them built the boots for Arachne, so I don't think you really need boots, but there's some basic builds, and that's pretty much how Arachne works. If you're going against an Arachne, be careful of that first thing, that tip, especially if you're jungling against her. She probably will be doing that, the little web thing at the beginning, and probably trying to get a head start. If you get a head start with Arachne, it's really hard to catch up, and that's what I believe most Arachnes will be trying to do. How did I kill that guy? Anyway, well, that's going to be pretty much it for the Arachne. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If I missed anything, let me know. Again, watch that Incan guide. I think the first 5 minutes where he goes over the beginning part is really important. He explains a lot better than I can. I'm not an Arachne expert or anything like that, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If I missed anything, let me know again. And let's go ahead and move on to the last god. Alright, last god we're going to go over here. We've got the god of war himself, Ares. Go ahead and go into his ability builder and see what he does and how to use them and all that good stuff. We have his 1, his 2, his 3, and his 4, and then we have his passive. Starting off with his passive, we have Blessed Presence. Each item, or each completed aura item that Ares owns grants him 30 additional magical power, so it's a really good idea to build aura items on him. And when we go in game, I'll show you the different items and which ones are auras and what to look out for. It's very simple, very easy. And let's go ahead and move on to his actual abilities. We have his 1, Shackles, and all he does is he shoots a chain out in a line. If he hits somebody, he can do it 2 more times if he hits him again. So if he does his first chain, he hits him, does a second chain, and hits him again, he can also do a 3rd chain. But he has to hit the first one, the second one, in order to do the 3rd one. When we get in game, I'll show you what it means. While he shackles somebody, they can't use any of their movement abilities, so no dashes, no like jumps, nobody can get away as long as they're under that chain, so it's a really good thing. Moving on to his 2, we have Bolster Defenses. A very simple, I mean, it's in the name itself, it's just Bolster Defenses. It gives, you know, his allies, his friendly minions, a boost to their defense, and that's pretty much it. Moving on to his 3, we have Searing Flesh, and it's just a flamethrower. He just shoots fire out consistently for, what, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and that's it. I mean, it's very, very simple. It's a good combination with the cone, or with the not the cone, with the chains. So if you do the chain and then you hit them with the fire, they can't move while you're pretty much burning them. And then finally his ultimate's called No Escape, and Ares jumps up in the air, he pulls chains out, and it basically attaches to anybody within a certain radius and then pulls him towards them. So if you go towards somebody, you chain them and then you pull them towards you, and then your teammates can do damage, you can do damage. It's a really good ultimate, but it's really easy to defend against if you have beads, or if you have any god that has an ultimate or just a ability in general that gets them out of it. You know, like Ravana, Aphrodite, Sobek. I mean, there are a lot of gods that can get out of that ability. And now, which abilities you want to max first? I usually do the 3 first, the 1, and then the 4, and then the 2. All right, so we're gonna do the 3, do the 1, then we're gonna do the 2, the 3, opens up the 4. Gonna push the 3 up, 3 again, go to the 1. We're going to finish out the 3, go back up to the 1, finish that up. We're going to go down to the 4. Okay, so 4, 4, can't do it anymore. 2, 2, there's the 4, 2, 2, and then 4. That's the basics behind Ares. If I miss anything, or if anybody's like a Ares expert and that's not the way to do it, let me know. But that's how I do when I play Ares. I play mainly support, so I'll play Ares every now and then. But let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay and show you all the abilities and how they work and all that. Alright, so we're in the gameplay now. We have all of Ares' abilities, and before I go out and demonstrate it, let me just talk about his passive real quick. So I built the Gauntlet of Thieves, and you can see on the bottom it says a passive. It's not an aura, but if you read at the bottom it says it evolves and it provides an aura. So Gauntlet of Thieves is an aura item. It evolves into one once I get the max stacks. But you want an item like this, like Sovereignty, or Pestilence, or Void Stone. See how they all have auras? Enemy gods within, you know, they have their magical protection reduced, healing reduced, physical protection increased. Anything that has aura on them, Emperor's Armor, that's really good. That's going to increase his, that's going to help his passive. That's going to increase his magical protection. So anything that says aura, those are the items you want to build onto Ares, and it'll help him get more magical damage and more magical power and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and demonstrate these abilities real quick. Let's go ahead and demonstrate the abilities on Ganesh here. So we're gonna start off with the 2 because my 1 is down right now. For the 2, you can see we've got a little symbol under all the minions. That's a defensive boost. Okay, the 1 is up, chains 1, 2, and I can't do it again because he silenced me. But you can do up to 3 of those if you hit somebody with your chains. All right, the 3 is a fire. Okay. Just basic flamethrower, that's all it is. And then the ultimate, chains. Alright, chain comes out of him, I pull him towards me. Oh, he died. But if he didn't die, he would have been pulled right underneath me. So anybody that's around you, any allies, they can do damage, they can do ultimates, they can stun them more. It's a pretty powerful ultimate as long as it doesn't get countered. But that's pretty much it for Ares. Here's a couple of builds from him. Alright, so I think I got a couple from Inkin and I believe Shawnee B. And then the 3rd one's going to be my personal build for Ares as well. But I mean, just focus on building aura items for Ares and you should be pretty solid. It's going to increase his magical power, and it's going to increase the power of your team, whether it's buffing your team or if it's debuffing the enemy team. So building aura items on Ares, you can't go wrong. And that's pretty much all I have for Ares, and that's pretty much all I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know. If there's any Ares masters out here and I missed something, let me know. But that's all I have for the video, guys. Hopefully it helped. If you guys have any questions, again, just let me know. If it was helpful, I definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe. And that's all I really have, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to cover the next 6 after these guys. and we'll go from there. But appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.